schools, their bridges, their clinics. I also hear of nurses' quarters, housing for nurses. You've done a fantastic job. And I hope that your next steps are even bolder. 30 years marks a generation. That is a seismic shift in ideology. It is a seismic shift in infrastructure. It is a seismic shift in even us as a people. If anyone here has any kids that are under 35, you know what I'm talking about. There is a difference between the generation that started Ceana and the ones that are going to be needed to take it over. Therefore, it is imperative that we have a dynamic shift in our approach to dealing with them. Otherwise, we're going to lose a whole generation of talent because they don't look like us, they don't sound like us, they don't want to act like us, but by God, they're ours, and we know they're fabulous. I want to thank the Queen Mothers, I want to thank the Tubbies, the Mamas. They are the curators of our culture. They are the ones that hold the fort. While we do the global trying, and sometimes we may forget from whence we came. However, this beautiful people is nothing but heartwarming. And I applaud you, and I hope that you continue to display and curate this culture such that for generations, we never get to forget who we are. I'm charged tonight to speak to the next generation of youth regarding empowerment, innovation and technology in agriculture or agribusiness. It's very interesting. The Volta region has exceptional arable land. Does anyone here know golden exotics? I see one show of hand. 2, 3. Golden Exotics is the one company in the Volta region that warehouses the largest, and I said the largest, organic banana farm in the world. While you clap, this is not a Ghanaian business. Golden Exotics belongs to Compagnie Fruitier. They can be found in Cameroon, in Cote d'Ivoire. They do a fantastic job. I've had the opportunity to visit, and I tell you, you want to talk about technology and innovation in farming? If you are able to get the opportunity, I say visit, because it's one thing to talk about business. It's something else to be able to get it done right. And so, I say that to say, on paper, every business looks perfect. Executing it is the challenge. Prior to getting into business, I was an executive in pharmaceuticals. I came out of college, I worked for Pfizer, I worked for Hoffman LaRoche, and for Johnson & Johnson. and something magical happened. For some odd reason, I thought I hit the glass ceiling. But something else was more interesting. For 6 months, I heard a voice, and it said, drop what's in your hands if you want to be able to hold what I have to give you. I was like, Every week, I would hear that voice. You have to drop what's in your hands in order to be able to hold what I have to give you. And this continued for 6 months. And then one day, it was a light bulb moment. And I realized it was the voice of God. And it was the voice that was telling me I was done with corporate America. He could no longer use me in that capacity. I needed to take a bigger leap of faith. I quit a job, way over 6 figures, company car, all the trappings. And my husband walked in the house one day and I said, honey, I quit. He's like, you what? What do you plan on doing? I really don't know. That's really a smart thing to say, isn't it? But that's what happens when there's a calling upon your life. So it's not just your intellectual acumen. You must listen to that voice if you're going to be able to make it in business. Because if God had told me what I was going to go through in the years that I've been in business on my own, internationally, flying, being away from my family and friends, I would have said, no thank you, that's a really grand idea, but please keep it for someone else. In order for us to be able to support the next generation in STEM, in agriculture, thank God, a lot of the technology today, these kids are smart. They're exceedingly smart. They come out of MIT, they are everywhere. I see them. But they're in a crack. They work for conglomerates. And I know on our Chicago platform, there was a little video that came out. And it was a lady in HR. And she was talking about a trend that they had noticed. Each time the companies would say, go out and hire people now, and on the base level, you can hire anyone. But once you get to management and to executives, hire an hour. There's a reason why. I thought I was one of the few people who had noticed it. But when I saw that video, we have a charge. And I think one of the reasons is because we are highly disciplined people. Not only are we highly disciplined, we're extremely loyal. And these are all arguments that are needed. However, permit me to say this, we tend to hold on and stay back. I've had challenges when I have my staff members come in and I have a policy. Do not bring a problem to me that you've not thought about the solution. Madam, you've not been trained to speak up. So, the next generation must speak up. The next generation must not settle for mediocrity. We are not mediocre people. We work in excellence, we work with determination, and we work and work and work. Do not wait for others to notice and then give you credit. Rise. Do not wait for the government to come do it for you. Governments are not meant for that. Governments are not businesses. They are meant to establish policies. And once these policies are put in place, it's incumbent upon you to use it to develop your businesses. No one should worry about the Volta region. No one should worry about Kita. No one should worry about Jilukopa more than I should. And I say this to address a question that always comes to me. Madam, you're in oil and gas. How come you haven't gone to, we hear there's oil in Kita. How come you haven't gone to apply for that? We're going to support you. So let me get that clear. The natural resources of any country do not belong to the villages. It belongs to the entire country. It is for that reason that the taxes, it is for that reason that whatever remuneration comes to GNPC from oil that's drilled in Takoradi or wherever, you still get to benefit from it because it's a melting pot. So, the oil in the Keta Basin does not belong to the Keta people, it belongs to the country of Ghana. So hopefully we've clarified that. To re-energize the youth, we have to put, Mr. President, some kinds of policies in place that this organization transcends from just being a cultural organization that raises funds to benefit people back home. That's magical. However, when the kids are younger, you can bring them here. As they get older, it's going to become a lot more difficult to bring them into a weekend that they're thinking of either going to Ibiza, going to do something more cool, and all of that. You need a different arm, which would look into the young professionals, global thinkers of Ceana. They want to be cool. I'll give you a case in point, Kelly Klugerson. An amazing young man, a forward thinker, an amazing businessman with a freight forwarding business right here in Atlanta. When I told him I was coming out here, I said, Auntie, what are you coming here for? Ceana. What is Ceana? Kelly should not have to ask that question. He should know. Because within Ceana, we have raised children that are movers and shakers. But Ceana is not benefiting from them. And if Ceana doesn't benefit from them, other people will. I am actually a bit shocked that Chelsea, Miss Universe Ghana, just having come back from Switzerland, come back from Milan, I said, Madam, please, you see, because now when you speak, you have to put a little bit of the please in there, otherwise they go the opposite direction. And the one thing you notice, they always do the selfies and always on their phones. That's good too. They're growing up at different times. When we grew up, there was no social media. So therefore, the charge to us was different. The society was a lot more sanitized. But I tell you, today, they need our help more than we realize. They need that discipline. They need us to talk to them, but differently. Don't talk to them telling them about your days. They honestly cannot relate to it. But talk to them with that nurturing that we have as African parents. They'll push back, you'll fight a lot, but at the end of the day, you'll gain a lot. Don't ask them, when are you getting married? It's not necessary. When they ask me the question, what do you think? I tell them, when you meet the person, you will know. That's all. They don't need that pressure. They have enough. They have enough coming from the global space. They have enough coming from the media. They need mentors. I cannot tell you how many young ladies walk into my office in Accra and they are broken into a million little pieces because they've had this unbelievable relationship that has gone south, that has broken them into all kinds of things. And I look at them in the face and I said, sweetheart, you were dating a narcissist. And this is real. They walk around with depression. So let's pay attention. We cannot stay in our own bubble and think that they will follow us because it's Ceana, because it's our culture, because they love all of that, but they are living in different times. So while we encourage them about agribusiness with tech is not a walk in the park. I met a young man this afternoon who's trying to do a poultry business, and I always encourage business to be organic. Start small. You're better off making small mistakes than big mistakes. Because I tell you, the mistakes will be there from day one. He wants to do it with tech, with all of that. And you know, startups is a lot tougher. Seed capital is a lot tougher. Great ideas. Where's the capital? So I say this to say, support them, build with them. But some of the tenets of leadership that you must share with them, and which I must share with you, because we're all leaders in our own capacity, be it as a corporate leader, business leader, political leader, or what have you. What typically happens, if you don't have humility, you don't have integrity, you don't have kindness, and you don't have respect, it's going to be a tough road. So to be a leader, you need these. I cannot conclude this address without paying homage to the most favorable people that I know in Africa, called the market women. I charge you to take a look at what they do. These women raise doctors, they raise engineers, and they're not sitting on any corporate desk. They are diligent. The economy, they are the backbone of the economy of Africa. If you want to talk about agribusiness, you're going to think about farm to market. Who runs the affairs of the market? They do. You can probably raise capital in the market before you raise it in the banks. Because the banks are going to throw the books at you. They will even want your grandmother's blood from the grave. So I say this to say, as women, the challenges are plenty. I get this a lot, but I've become gender insensitive because I believe in excellence. I believe that if you put your best foot forward, maybe you might get 5 rejections, but I promise you, the cream rises to the top. So for every woman sitting herein, I stand with you to say, don't let that idea die, no matter how small it is. It's tougher for us because we still have to think about the children, we still have to think about the home, we still have to think about parents, we still have to think about everything, the family, the whole 9 yards. But that's why God created us second, because he was trying to fix a few mistakes. So take it, enjoy it, don't complain. Despite the challenges, I've run offices in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Benin, Togo, and I stand here to say, Ghana is still the best. However, let's work on making sure that before we start anything, we know capacity building is tough. It's very, very tough. Have small partnerships. Start small. Trust is an invaluable commodity. I say invaluable because you cannot put a value on it. Trust is all you have. Do not betray your trust in quest of money. When you do what is right, money will follow it. So as I close, I want to remind you of this. And I want to remind Ceana, it's time, it's a generation to start becoming fluid, to start becoming dynamic, to start putting a strategic plan in place to attract the next generation. I will be remiss if I close without telling you a little bit about giving. Because giving is magical. But helping is not only magical, it's godly. To the regional minister of Volta, I want to applaud you for Hope being the cleanest city I've truly set my eyes on. It's actually known today as the oxygen city in the world. Several years ago, and I give that credit to Mr. Klugeson sitting right there, I made a donation to Hope Polytechnic, engineering equipment to the tune of $400,000. But what those students did with that equipment was magical. And so pay attention. But pay attention to individuals and individual families, because every people don't complain. They hold it in. They even hold in their pain. I had an opportunity to go through the region this past season. And don't wait for someone to, you can identify a family that needs you. And believe it or not, $100 can change the life of a family. $200 can change the life of a generation. So pay attention. Just don't go on holidays. They don't have to be a family member. Find out the families that have brilliant children. We can build schools. But if we're not going that extra mile to say, does this kid have tuition? We're not completing the task. There is a student at the Whole Health Sciences Academy, University. He chased me down in Ghana. He's in medical school. And when he eventually, I think he had followed me on Instagram. I had not the faintest idea. But everywhere I went, all the way he came to the Kempinski. And when he tried to get close, for some reason, security would pull. push him back, but to make a long story short, he eventually did. And I found out later on that he didn't have tuition and he was going into second year of medical school. And quite frankly, I've adopted him, happily. He is an amazing child, but helping with his tuition is not enough. His story is also dismal. Therefore, I was on social media one day and I noticed he had put on a post where he had attempted suicide.
What?
I asked him what happened and I told him to come immediately to my office, which he did. The school did all the school protocols and the psychologist and the this and the that. And when he got to the office that Monday, and the first question I asked was, have you eaten? And he said no. I asked my staff to get in some salad, this. And do you know what he said to me? He goes, Auntie, this is the first time I'm ever tasting salad. I say this and I get goosebumps because we take way too much for granted. We go through like helicopters. Please pay attention. I would borrow from my favorite president, former President Barack Obama. Brick by brick, callousland by callousland. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Pay attention. Be intentional. Be intentional. The Honorable Speaker, Honorable Bagwin, is not here this evening. But as we all know, the men are the heads of the household. This is the Ewe household. The women are the neck. And you know what happens when you have a stiff neck. So we're happy with our position. We don't want to be the head. We just want to be the neck to support. And we want to be a good support. And so, as I close, I'm going to join hands with the Honorable Speaker to donate a match of $10,000 to the organization. I wish you well, and thank you. Merci à tous, and I hope that you have a phenomenal rest of the evening and an amazing Labor Day weekend. Thank you.
Can we give her a round of applause, please?